Gentlemen, pay attention. I'm about to reveal 5 habits that are subtly draining your vitality and making you seem less formidable. These may appear minor, but they significantly impact how others perceive you and even how you view yourself. Stay with me until the end, because I'm not just going to point out these habits. I'll equip you with strategies to overcome them and regain the admiration you're entitled to. Justifying your inaction might seem trivial, but every time you say, "I can't," you're cementing the notion that you're helpless. And let me be clear, it's not your age that's limiting you. It's your perspective. Excuses are easy. They protect you from effort, from setbacks, and even from triumphs. But they also strip away your potential for improvement. You might think, "I'm too old to start working out," or "I can't pick up new skills like I used to." But are those truths? Or are they just narratives you've adopted to dodge the unease of effort? Here's an example. A buddy of mine, Michael, in his 70s, claimed he couldn't get fit because his joints were worn out. I told him, "Fine, maybe running's out, but can you cycle? Can you do yoga? Can you stroll through the park?" It's not about doing it all, it's about doing something. And here's the thing. Once he started moving, even just a bit, his self-assurance skyrocketed. It wasn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It was about showing himself he could still advance. So how do you tackle this? Begin by questioning your justifications. Jot them down, examine them, and ask, is this reality or is fear speaking? Then take one small step today. Not tomorrow, not next month, today. If you've been dodging fitness, try 10 minutes of light stretching. If you've delayed learning something new, check out an online guide. The key is to concentrate on what you can do, not what you believe you can't. Strength isn't just physical, it's mental toughness. And every time you push past a justification, you're reclaiming a piece of that power. The world might not see it immediately, but you will, and that's where transformation begins. Here's something I've observed. Many older men hesitate to express their opinions. It's as if they've convinced themselves it's wiser to stay silent than to risk disagreement. Maybe you think you're maintaining harmony. Maybe you feel your perspective no longer matters. But here's the reality. Every time you hold back, you're signaling to yourself and others that your voice lacks value. The truth is, your voice carries authority, shaped by years of hard-earned experience, insights gained through trial, and a viewpoint younger people often lack. When you stay quiet, you're not just withholding an opinion, you're withholding wisdom. Now, I'm not suggesting you turn every discussion into a showdown. Speaking out doesn't mean yelling or imposing your views. It means sharing your thoughts with calm confidence, even if they differ from the crowd. Here's a story. At a recent neighborhood barbecue, someone made a remark that didn't sit right with me. It wasn't rude, just a bit narrow-minded. The old me might have let it pass, thinking, why rock the boat? Instead, I said, have you considered it from this angle? I didn't argue or get heated. I just offered a fresh perspective. And you know what? That simple comment sparked a thoughtful discussion. My neighbors didn't just hear my words. They saw I cared enough to contribute. And that, my friends, is impactful. To change this habit, start with trust. Trust that your words are worth hearing. Next time you're tempted to stay silent, pause and ask, is this quiet helping me or hindering me? If it's the latter, speak up. Start small if you must, practice in casual settings, and remember, people respect a man who stands by his convictions, even if they don't always agree. Voicing your thoughts shows strength, self-worth, and courage. It's not about winning every debate. It's about showing up as the man you are. Let's address something many men our age avoid admitting. Over time, we stop paying attention to our appearance. Maybe you think, I've earned the right to take it easy, or who do I need to impress now? I understand, comfort becomes the goal. And soon you're grabbing whatever's handy without a second thought. But here's the issue. Neglecting your appearance isn't just about looking unkempt. It sends a signal to the world and to yourself that you've stopped valuing your presence. You don't need to dress in a tuxedo daily. This isn't about red carpet fashion. It's about demonstrating that you still care. When you make an effort to present yourself well, people notice, and more importantly, you do too. It lifts your confidence, your energy, and the way you carry yourself. Think about it. Have you ever put on a sharp jacket or gotten a clean haircut and instantly felt better? That's the power of taking pride in your look. It's not superficial, it's self-respect. So how do you address this? Start with the essentials. Refresh your wardrobe. You don't need a ton of clothes, but invest in a few quality, classic pieces that fit well. Neutral tones and clean designs are versatile. Grooming counts. Keep your hair tidy, clip your nails, and maintain your facial hair, whether it's a smooth shave or a neat beard. Hygiene is non-negotiable. It sounds basic, but clean, pressed clothes, and a daily refresh make a huge difference. If you're unsure what suits you, ask a trusted friend for advice or visit a store and let the staff help. They're experts at helping men of all ages look sharp. Remember, your appearance is often the first thing people notice. While looks aren't everything, they set the tone for how others see you and how you see yourself. Taking pride in your appearance tells the world you're still engaged, still strong, and still taking care of yourself. When you respect your look, you remind everyone, including yourself, that you're a man worth respecting. It's natural to reminisce about the glory days. We've all got those tales, times when we were tougher, quicker, or at our peak. And while there's nothing wrong with cherishing those moments, dwelling on them is where trouble starts. When you linger too long in the past, you get trapped. You begin to believe your prime is over, and that belief stops you from making new memories, setting new ambitions, and moving forward. You can't evolve if you're always looking backward. Let me share a story. I knew a man, Tom, who was a hometown hero in his youth. He constantly talked about his college baseball days, his big games, his shining moments. But here's the problem. Tom stopped building his life after that. While others tackled new endeavors, Tom was stuck reliving yesterday. The saddest part? He missed opportunities because he was too focused on what was. So, how do you escape this cycle? Start with gratitude. Value the past for what it taught you. The lessons, the memories, the wins, but don't let it define you. Instead, ask, what's next? Here's how to move forward. Set fresh goals. Maybe you're not playing sports anymore, but could you aim for 10,000 steps daily? Or try a hobby you've always wanted to explore. Try something new. Step out of your routine. Take a course, join a club, or learn a skill you've never attempted. It's never too late to begin. Focus on legacy. Think about what you can share with the next generation, wisdom, skills, or new memories you're creating now. The past was great, but the present is where life unfolds. It's where you have the power to grow, contribute, and craft new stories worth sharing. When you stop living in the past and invest in today, you're showing the world and yourself that you're still here, that your best days are still being written. So, gentlemen, treasure the memories, but don't get lost in them. The man who embraces the present is the one who stays resilient, no matter his age. Let's be real. After all these years, it's tempting to think, I've done my part, I deserve to kick back. And while there's nothing wrong with enjoying your hard-earned rewards, shying away from new challenges is a guaranteed way to let life slip by. The truth is, when you stop pushing yourself, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start fading mentally, physically, and emotionally. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. It's not about scaling mountains or mastering coding overnight. It's about proving to yourself you can still step up. Every time you tackle something new, no matter how small, you're reminding yourself and the world that you're still in the fight. So, how do you break this pattern? Start small. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight, but you do need to take that first step. Here's how. Pick one new pursuit. Maybe it's a hobby you've been curious about, like painting, woodworking, or cooking, or something as simple as trying a new dish. Embrace being a novice. Yes, you might feel clumsy or out of place at first, but that's where growth happens. Being a beginner isn't a flaw. It's a sign of courage to learn. Set small, realistic goals. If the challenge feels daunting, break it down. Want to get fit? Start with a 10-minute walk. Want to learn tech? Master one tool. And here's a tip. Remind yourself that stumbling isn't failure. It's part of the journey. Every misstep brings you closer to success. Let me tell you about a time I took up guitar. At first, I could barely strum a chord, and I felt foolish. But I kept at it. And you know what? Not only did I learn a new skill, but I also found a passion I didn't know I had. Taking on challenges doesn't just build skills. It reminds you that you're still capable of growth, that you're not finished. Life keeps throwing tests your way, so don't stop rising to meet them. Every time you say yes to something new, you're proving your best days are still ahead. So, gentlemen, what's the next challenge you'll take on?